Okay, it's recording, but again, we have a little bit of time. So, got my little mark. How do you feel? Feel comfortable? Yeah, good. Hey everyone, I'm here with Shelly Cook at Salon LG in Southern California, and I just want to talk to her a little bit today about extensions and what they are, how they work, why people get them, and just some frequently asked questions about them as well. So thanks for having me here. I'm really interested in this. I know a lot of people that I've spoken to are really interested. So I think first maybe go into why people get hair extensions. What are some of the big reasons that people look into this?
There's mainly two reasons. Obviously lengthening is a big reason, and then volume is another reason.
Do you think most people are looking at getting hair extensions for that length, or are you finding it's more common to want the volume?
It's usually more common for length. You know, they're trying to get longer and thicker hair. A lot of people don't even realize that extensions are used for volume also.
Okay.
So it's something that we need to get out so people know that at any length you can have fuller hair.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So what about the different types of extensions? Because I'm not really familiar with extensions. I haven't had them done. Are you wearing any right now?
Yes, I'm
well, so are there different types of extensions, or has it now evolved so there's just one preferred type, or what's the industry standard?
There's still several types. There's the newest and latest and greatest is the tape extensions, because they seem to work with anybody's hair. So that's a really good way to go. That's what I have in my hair right now, and I'm just doing it for volume because my hair is this long. Mm-hmm. So I just want to have a little more va-boom. I want to look like a movie star whenever possible.
Oh, thank you. You always look so beautiful.
Thank you.
That's great. And then as far as the other types, the strand, and then you mentioned the third. Which one was that?
There's also clip-ins.
Clip-ins,
yeah,
okay.
Which are...
Is that more of a do-it-yourself, or is that still something you need a professional for?
It can be done by a professional. If you have a special occasion, it's probably the best way to go, but it's definitely something you can do at home.
Okay.
We do, when anybody gets clip-in extensions, we take the time to teach them how to use them, and, because there are different types of extensions that are clip-in. You can have one piece, you have two pieces, you can have 8 pieces.
Okay. So there's a variety.
You got to find out what the person's willing to do at home, how well they work with their own hair, and then decide which system is best for them.
Okay. And so what's the process? Like if I decide I want to look into having extensions, what would be the first thing? Would I come in and see you, or what's step one?
Step one is calling and setting up a free consultation.
Okay.
And that's the best, that's where I get to know you, your hair, your lifestyle, what you're looking for, whether it is length or fullness, whether you want to throw in a few pieces just to add some color. There's so many options that you can do with extensions now. So that's where we get to know each other and find out what you want to have done and what I think your hair can handle, because that's really important.
Are there some people that can't do extensions? Is their hair too fine, or can you have hair that's too short to do extensions?
Too short is definitely something that's really hard to work with. The shorter your hair is and the bigger jump you're trying to make with the extensions, those are the two hard things to do. Mm-hmm. Not impossible, but it's easiest if you have at least chin length.
Okay.
Shoulder length is really, really simple to work with. So it's, like I said, the shorter your hair is, the harder it is for you at home, really, more than anything, to make it look good.
And what's kind of like the threshold for a feasible jump in length? Like if someone comes in with, their hair to here, and they're like, I want to have, Kim Kardashian hair, and I want it down to here. Do you get kind of that request a lot, or are most people realistic?
No, that's when I have to be realistic for them. And just because anybody, doesn't matter, if their hair is a certain length and they're trying to add 2 feet, it's not going to look good. It just,
is it just harder to blend?
Yeah, it really is, because you're not getting rid of the hair you have.
Right.
You're camouflaging your hair into extensions.
Right.
So if you have short layers on top and then hair down to here, you're going to have a shaggy layer all the way to the bottom, which that's not a good look anyhow.
Right.
So
that's a good point.
Okay. All right. So let's be realistic. 12 inches to me, I think, is a huge jump.
Right.
Anything past that is pretty unrealistic.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I'm sure you get people ask you.
Oh, absolutely.
Miracle worker, please take me from pixie to, long mermaid hair. That makes sense. So if you want to reuse hair extensions so that you don't have to keep buying them? Is that possible? Or how many uses do you get out of hair extensions?
The tape extensions are reusable. You come in every 6 to 8 weeks and you move them up. As long as you're taking good care of the hair at home,
Okay.
they can last anywhere from 6 months to a year, sometimes
Okay.
even longer.
Wow, that's great.
The color of the hair is also a factor. Blonde hair is blonde hair, so it doesn't last as long. It does get
Right.
split ends. Darker hair can last longer.
Because it's real hair.
Absolutely.
So
It's
just
all
like
human
what you've got
hair. We only work
growing
with
and-
human Remy hair, so
Right.
the cuticle is intact. And yeah, but you
Okay.
do have to take care of the hair because it is human. You do need to trim it like you would trim your own hair. You do need to condition the ends.
Can you color it?
Yes, you can color
So you can
it.
change the color of the extension hair
Yes.
and your hair color to match?
You
or-
can do that.
Okay.
We only suggest going same level or darker. We
Okay.
don't ever suggest going lighter because,
Right.
again, that
You
will
wanna take care of it, you don't-
that will damage the hair.
Right, it's tough on hair to bleach
Yeah.
it and, get it to,
Yeah.
to the lighter colors. I understand, I mean,
Yeah.
we all know that. And especially because it's hair that it's not going to grow back in and refresh
Right.
itself, you can't be lightening it too many times. I think
Yeah.
that makes really good sense. But people probably have that question a lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, if someone comes in for a consultation and you talk to them about the different types of options they have, and once they decide to move forward, what is their time investment? So because I've heard, and correct me if I'm wrong, that it can take like a whole day to put them in, or is that not?
That's kind of the old school, and obviously there's stylists out there that still take 8 hours to do the same similar systems. I work with a company called Hair Dreams for my strands, and they actually invented a clip.
Okay.
Which you can do a full head of extensions in 2 hours. And
That's 2 hours
2 hours
total?
total.
Wow,
Yeah.
okay.
And then the tape extensions, for any system, the tape extensions, that's a quick system. It's usually about
Wow.
45 minutes to an hour to do a full head.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah,
Actually,
much
that's
easier.
a lot shorter than I thought. And then for follow-up appointments, is it about the same amount of time because it's the same number of?
Yeah, the tape extension follow-up is a little bit longer because you actually take out the hair,
Okay.
put new tape on, and move it up. So it's probably like an extra half an hour on the
Okay.
move-up appointment.
I don't know.
Oh boy.
Oh, it's okay. They're probably like, where are you?
Is that, yeah? Oh, that's mine.
Yeah, we'll wait for it to, and then we'll catch up on, it started buzzing when we were talking about,
How long the appointments, I think.
yeah. So I'm a busy person. A lot of people might be thinking they can't take out, a full day to do this, and I've heard it
yeah.
can take a full day, but maybe that was back in the day. I mean, how long do people normally spend, in your chair for their first appointment putting in their extensions?
If we're just doing extensions, it could be anywhere from 1 to 2 hours.
Okay.
If we're also doing color, which a lot of the time we do color too, it's just nice to get everything blended really well.
Right.
That adds another hour and a half.
So you're looking at
So-
like a half afternoon, like 3 hours.
Yeah.
12 to 3 and you're out of here.
Yeah, that type of
And
thing.
then when would you come back in? How many weeks or months until your next maintenance appointment?
If you're getting the tape extensions, it's every 6 to 8 weeks.
Okay.
And that just depends on how fast your hair grows. Then you move them up. The strands do stay in anywhere from 3 to 5 months with
Okay.
little or no maintenance. I do like to have my clients come in every 6 to 8
Right.
weeks just so I can see, make sure they're taking care of it.
Of course, that makes
But
sense.
I have several clients that live out of town, Arizona, Mexico,
I know.
Sweden. I mean, it's
Every
amazing.
time I come to your salon, it's like I get to meet so many great people. You do draw, people from all over. So
Which is exciting. It makes
Yeah.
me feel good. And those are usually the
Yeah.
clients that are getting the strand method that
Right.
can only come see me a couple times a year.
So with them, what would you do? Maybe just on the phone to check in because they can't really come in for as many maintenance appointments.
I just make sure that they really know how to take care of the hair before they leave, and then
Right.
anybody's willing to call and email, ask questions while they have their hair in. So if there's ever an issue, we can take care of it that way.
So what do you tell them about self-care? Like, are there certain shampoos you have to use, or what about wearing ponytails?
Yeah.
I'm sure you get these questions a lot
Well,
too.
the products you use are very important, and so we sell the products here that make the most sense for the extensions that we use.
Mm-hmm.
We tell you the ingredients that you have to stay away from, so it's not like you have to use our products. We just recommend it because we know you're going to
Mm-hmm. Right,
have
they're
the
gonna
best
work.
results. And
Yeah.
people sometimes they just love their product, and I just give them a list of what ingredients to
So
stay
they can
away
look at the
from.
label and
Yeah,
make sure.
exactly. And if they need to switch to what we're using, then they usually do.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then what about how you style your hair. Can you put your hair in a ponytail with extensions?
Yeah,
or is that a forbidden haircut?
That is actually probably one of the first questions I ask anybody who sits in my chair.
Okay.
Do you wear a ponytail? Because to me, that's the most important thing.
Okay.
So that's important. With any extension, wearing a low ponytail is simple because all the extensions are in here and in here.
Okay, so you can pull it back.
So you can pull it back.
Low ponytail, no problem.
To
work,
system.
to work out, whatever. Okay.
It's when you move it up a little that it starts to get tricky.
Because you're pulling and
do
you teach people like how to style it and how they can wear their ponytail to kind of achieve whatever looks they still want to do with their styling? Okay, well that's good.
Yeah.
And then what are some other common questions you might get from clients that call in and are interested, or even just your clients that have had them done?
A lot of people want to know like how often they have to shampoo their hair and what's the best system. And I always tell people when you get extensions for the first time, there's obviously a learning curve, but it's really important to, if you can, take the time the day you shampoo, condition, and blow dry to really style your hair, smooth it out, make sure everything blends and looks really nice, because realistically you can go 2, 3, sometimes 4 days without starting over.
So you just wake up.
Yeah, you brush your hair, it looks good.
Yeah.
And that really is the most important maintenance of extensions, is brushing your hair. Sometimes my clients will come in and be like, I was so scared to brush my hair. And I'm like, no, that's the most important part. You have to brush your hair.
Okay.
That's what keeps it healthy. That's what gets your natural oils into the extensions. And that's what keeps things from getting tangled.
You just use the right brush.
Right, exactly, which we supply. Yeah.
Okay. Well, what about do-it-yourself extensions?
Don't recommend.
Okay. Well, have you ever had someone come in where you get to fix that for them if they did it wrong? Or what's the worst that can happen from just doing it yourself?
I had a client recently who contacted me, and she had let her girlfriend put in extensions that they bought on the internet.
Okay.
So it was a strand-by-strand method, which is something we do here, but we work with a company that has, the bond is actually, there's no glue in the bond.
Okay.
So the extension she bought online had glue in the bond, and her girlfriend put all the extensions in her hair in the right place, and she spent the day at the beach, went home, and they had all fused together and literally glued to her head.
Okay. Oh no.
Yeah.
What did she do?
She had to shave her.
She had to shave There's no way to fix it.
Glue.
That by itself is probably the best public service thing we could share with everybody, because that's really scary. And I have to shave to start over. I mean, that's just because you can't just undo the glue. So.
No.
And then what's the difference between professionally done strand method? If it's not glue, what keeps the hair attached?
They look very similar. That's what confuses people. They go online, maybe they've had extensions done professionally, think I'm going to save some money and go buy them online. It looks exactly like what they're doing. The strands that we use, the bond is made out of synthetic nylon and keratin. Okay. So when it dries, which is in seconds, it turns hard.
Okay.
And
it doesn't melt?
No. If you were
in a hot shower?
No hot shower, sauna, heat, anything like that. The only thing that could mess up the bond is if you took your flat iron and actually smashed the extension bond. Right. But even that wouldn't do anything to your hair. It wouldn't damage your hair in any way. It would possibly loosen up the bond just because you've changed the shape of it.
I understand.
So, yeah.
But you probably shouldn't be flat ironing so close to
that would be hard to do anyhow. And I tell people that it's like, you don't have to worry about it in the beginning. At least 2 months down the road before you could actually clamp down and do damage. And that's when you think about it a little more, that's all.
So if someone wants to do this, what kind of investment are they looking at to get started?
It could be anywhere from around $300 up to $2,000, and that's depending on the amount of hair that you need, the length of hair, volume. When you're just doing the same length of your own hair, that's the least expensive, because you're basically going to spend as much money as you want hair. So if you just want a little bit of hair, $300, and it goes up from there.
Okay. So. And then for coming back and reusing the hair just for the appointment itself, you said it was like a 2-hour appointment to redo and move them up. What's the investment there typically?
That's $225 if you have a full head of extensions.
Okay.
So if you're doing it for volume, it would obviously be less because you have less hair to move.
Fewer ones to move.
Some clients have more than a full head of hair. They like to have 1.5, so they have to pay a little bit more because it's just based on time. You know, obviously
and
the products. Yes,
of course. You're really good at what you do. So, you know, nobody wants to go someplace where it's their first one they're doing.
No, and that's what we
happens.
specialize in here. 80% of our clients have extensions.
Right.
You know, they mostly come in, they get their cuts and colors also, but they're maintaining extensions, getting cuts and colors. So we're not a salon that just offers extensions. We are a salon that specializes in extensions and offer everything else.
Well, that's fun. So what are just kind of the thoughts that your client, like, what is it about extensions that makes you feel it really helps your clients who decide to go this route and get this done?
I love it. I get excited for them. You know, it's kind of, I have so many clients that come to me that have just never had beautiful hair. Fine, thin, limp, you know, things like that. And we really can, in a day, completely change their hair.
How fun.
It's fantastic.
That seems fun for you.
It is. I mean, when I started doing hair and I was doing cuts and colors, it was exciting at the end. You know, it's like, oh, transformation, but this just takes it to a completely different level. You're changing lives.
Right.
And I have lots of clients who've been through chemotherapy.
Really?
So I'm really changing lives. It's exciting. I feel so lucky I get to do this every day.
Well, thank you so much for sharing and meeting. I've seen your clients. They look beautiful. I've actually been in here when I watched you doing somebody's extensions, and I was like, that actually looks a lot easier than I even imagined it would be. So I think it's a great option for anybody who wants to have thicker, longer hair. And again, Shelly Cook with Salon LG in Southern California, and I just really thank you so much for sharing all that information.
Thank you.
See you soon.
You too.
We may have nailed it.
I was going to say, I'm sure I flubbed a little, but I'm human. I think we got everything.
I don't know. I didn't want to keep looking down.
Best
consultation.
We did it all.
Oh,
absolutely, yes. Woohoo, I can't wait to see.
Okay.